Benfica have reached 8 UEFA club competition finals and returned for this game to a city where they played the 87-88 European Cup final. On that occasion, they lost 6-5 to PSV Eindhoven. Now, both clubs have been in high-scoring form in this competition. In the opening night, Stuttgart winning 5-1, the performance of the night against Beveren. And Benfica beat Heerenveen, who were going well as well in the league, 4-2. So two exceptionally good performances on the opening night in that competition. It really did set us up for one of the games of the night here. And we were talking about the clubs with lots of history and tradition. People often don't think about Stuttgart, but they have had a pretty successful time of it over the last 15 years in Europe. Of course, most recently losing the Cup Winners' Cup final to Chelsea back in 1998. This, of course, too, was a return for Giovanni Trapattoni to the place where he did coach in Germany. Spent some time, of course, with Bayern Munich. Stuttgart, of course, would have preferred to have been competing in the Champions League this season, but they are realistic contenders to win this competition. Now, these new gold shirts of Benfica, another German goalkeeper, looking as if he's not in the best position to sort out the problems that were opening up in front of him, but that wasn't the best piece of finishing either from Pereira. Well, Benfica's roll of honour, as we said, is something that few can even match. Those heady years from 1962, where they beat Tottenham, remember, 4-3 in the European Cup on way to going to the final. That was Matthias Sammer, who's done such a good job here, although they're not going particularly well in the league at the moment. Remember, they've lost, or coming into this 3 in a row, which had dropped them out of the top spot. They were still expected to win, though, in this game tonight, and they would. Kakao, 23 minutes gone. 10 goals in all competitions for him this season. In his second season here, after signing from Nuremberg. And he continues to improve as a player week in, week out, and with the quality of that finishing straight through the legs. Hint of luck, of course, along the way. But through two players' legs, it's not very often that you see that happening. Into the second period, it was 8 minutes old when the second goal went in. Silvio Meissner with his third of the campaign. Well, Benfica's recent history against German clubs isn't particularly good. Won and lost against Kaiserslautern in the Champions League in 1999. Lost 7-2 on aggregate over 2 games to Bayern Munich back in 1996. But there was one tremendous night with a 4-4 draw against Bayer Leverkusen in the Cup Winners' Cup back in 1994. They pushed forward admirably, looking for spaces, looking to try and take advantage of any lacks in concentration from Stuttgart. But there was to prove to be an untypically efficient German performance. This wasn't long before the third goal went in either. Kurani. 2 hat-tricks he's got already this season, Kurani. But his last 2 goals have both been in the UEFA Cup. Not going quite so well in the league at the moment, Kurani. ...1974 in the UEFA Cup quarter-finals against Setúbal, which they won 3-2 on aggregate. It's the only meeting between Stuttgart and a Portuguese team with this amount of generosity that was on display tonight, the amount of luck that they had in producing this result, and they meet them a few more times as well. Now, the slip from Timo Hildebrand, almost giving the most unlikely of goal scorers, Manuel Fernandes, that was the number 37. 1990, the last time they made a UEFA Cup competition final. Philipp Lahm almost finishing with a goal as well. Looks like it's going to be another long while before Benfica get back. They're not a good performance on the night, and Stuttgart well deserving of a 3-0 victory.